Get out of
Get
the
out of the
car!
car!
Ifunanya's voice cracked through the Seoul night like a whip. She stood in the middle of the street, fists clenched, blocking the black sedan that had been trailing her for 2 months. The engine idled. Headlights cut through the darkness, painting her in harsh white light. I said get out! The back door opened slowly. A man emerged, tall and sharp in a black suit. She recognized him instantly. The hotel guest from the penthouse. The one who'd appeared in the storage room 6 weeks ago when her ex had her pinned against the wall. You're going to get yourself killed, he said quietly. Then stop following me. She didn't move. Her legs trembled, but she locked her knees. I know what you've been doing. The bodyguards, the dropped lawsuit, my visa getting approved overnight. I'm not stupid. He walked toward her. 3 steps. 4. His face remained unreadable. You should have stayed out of it, he said. My son asks me why the same car parks outside his daycare every morning. Her voice rose. So either you explain right now or I'm walking into a police station tomorrow. Something shifted in his expression. He pulled out his phone, tapped the screen, turned it toward her. The photo stole the air from her lungs. Iboob, her 4-year-old son, asleep in his bed, taken from outside their 3rd-floor apartment window. How dare you? He's mine. The words hit like a fist to her chest. She staggered back a step. You're insane. DNA doesn't lie. His voice stayed level. Too level. 4 years old, born 9 months after the charity gala at Seoul Presbyterian Hospital. The same night someone drugged us both. Her world tilted sideways. What? You donated bone marrow to me 5 years ago. 3 days later, we both woke up in a hotel room with no memory of how we got there. You fled Korea 1 week after that. He stepped closer. But you came back, 8 months pregnant. You've been hiding here ever since. The street spun. Traffic sounds blurred into static. You're lying. I have the medical records, the security footage, the lab results. His jaw tightened. Someone wanted us both destroyed. Her name is Dami Go-hun. She was my fiancée, and she's the reason your son exists. Before this goes any further, let me ask you something. Have you subscribed yet? No? Do that now, because this story's about to get messy. Drop a comment telling me where you're watching from and what time it is. I need to know who's awake at midnight falling down this rabbit hole with me, and if you stay until the end, you'll find out why some secrets don't stay buried. Trust me on that. Ifunanya's hands shook. I don't believe you. You don't have to. He slid the phone back into his pocket. But in 72 hours, Dami gets released from prison. She tried to kill me once by sabotaging my bone marrow transplant. You're the reason that failed. Now she knows about Iboob, and she'll come for him to finish what she started. You're threatening my son? I'm telling you he's already been threatened. His voice hardened. 2 weeks ago, 3 men were hired to grab him from daycare. They never made it past the parking lot. Last week, someone tried to bribe your landlord for your apartment schedule. I stopped that too. Her vision tunneled. Why would anyone want to hurt a 4-year-old? Because he's my heir. Because Dami wants my empire and a child ruins that plan. He paused. And because 5 years ago, you saved my life when she tried to take it. The pieces clicked together too fast. The charity gala where she'd volunteered as a nursing student. The mandatory bone marrow drive 3 days before. Waking up in a hotel room alone, clothes disheveled, head pounding, no memory of the night before. The pregnancy test 6 weeks later, the shame, the fear, the flight back to Nigeria that lasted 3 months before she realized she had nowhere else to go. I never knew who received the donation, she whispered. Hospital privacy laws. His expression softened slightly. I never knew who saved me either. Not until 6 weeks ago when your ex attacked you and you dropped Iboob's photo. I ran the DNA out of curiosity, found out he was mine. Then I found your medical file and saw the donor match. So you've been watching us. I've been protecting you. Without asking? Would you have said yes? He held her gaze. Would you have let the man you thought was a stranger guard your son? Or would you have run? She had no answer for that. A car honked behind them. The driver shouted something in Korean. Min Su-jun waved him around without looking away from her. I don't need your protection, Ifunanya said. Yes, you do. He pulled out his phone again, swiped to a different photo. This is Dami Gohun, former fiancée, currently serving 5 years for fraud and attempted murder. She gets early release in 3 days because someone bribed a judge. 48 hours after that, she'll move against us. The woman in the photo was beautiful. Sharp cheekbones, cold eyes, a smile that didn't reach past her lips. Why me? Ifunanya's voice cracked. Why did she drug me? You were the bone marrow donor. She recognized you at the gala from the hospital records. She wanted to create a scandal, destroy my reputation, break our engagement so she could inherit my assets when I died. His mouth twisted. She didn't count on you getting pregnant, or disappearing before she could use you. Ifunanya's head pounded. Too much information. Too fast. I need to go home. You can't. He said it gently but firmly. Your apartment isn't safe anymore. Dami's people have been watching it for 3 days. I've kept them back, but once she's out, they'll move fast. Then I'll leave Seoul. She has reach in 12 countries. Running won't save you. He paused. But I can. Why? The question burst out of her. Why do you even care? You didn't know a boob existed until 6 weeks ago. You don't know me. We're strangers. You gave me 5 years of life I wasn't supposed to have. His voice dropped low, rough. I was 27 and dying. Your bone marrow saved me. Then someone tried to destroy us both and accidentally gave me a son. That's not a coincidence. That's a debt. I don't want your debt. Too late. He stepped back toward the car. My men will follow you home tonight. Tomorrow morning, pack 2 bags. Bring a boob to the hotel. I have a secure floor. No one gets in without my clearance. And if I refuse? Then Dami will have your son within a week, and you'll never see him again. The words came out flat. Final. Your choice. He climbed back into the sedan. The door closed with a soft click. The car pulled away smoothly, leaving her standing alone in the middle of the street. Ifunanya's legs finally gave out. She sank onto the curb, head in her hands. A son fathered by a man she didn't remember, a woman who wanted them both dead. 5 years of hiding shattered in one conversation. Her phone buzzed, unknown number. She stared at it for 3 rings before answering. Ifunanya. A woman's voice, smooth, familiar in a way that made her skin crawl. We haven't met, but I know everything about you. Your son's daycare schedule, your work shifts, the way you sing to him before bed. Her blood turned to ice. Who is this? Someone who's been waiting 5 years for this moment. The voice turned sharp. Min Su-jun thinks he can protect you. He's wrong. In 3 days, I'll be free, and I'll show you exactly what happens to women who ruin my plans. The line went dead. Ifunanya sat on the curb, staring at her phone, and realized she'd just made the most dangerous enemy of her life, someone she didn't even remember meeting. Ifunanya didn't sleep that night. She sat in a boob's room, watching him breathe. Every car that passed outside made her flinch. Every shadow that moved across the window sent her heart into her throat. At 6 a.m., she made her decision. She packed 2 bags, one for her, one for Eboob. Clothes, documents, the stuffed lion he couldn't sleep without. Her hands moved mechanically while her mind screamed that this was insane. Mommy, where are we going? Eboob rubbed his eyes as she dressed him. An adventure, she lied. The word tasted like ash. Is the helper man coming? Her hands froze on his shirt buttons. What helper man? The one from the park. He bought me ice cream when you were in the bathroom. Eboob smiled. He knew my name. Cold dread sank through her chest. When was this? Last week. He said he was your friend. Eboob tilted his head. Is he? She wanted to scream. Instead, she pulled her son close and held him until he squirmed. The hotel lobby felt different in daylight. Colder. She approached the front desk, bags in hand, Eboob clinging to her leg. I need to speak to Kang Min Su-jun. The receptionist's smile didn't waver. I'm sorry, we don't have a guest by that name. Penthouse suite, 4th floor. Don't lie to me. The smile cracked. The woman picked up a phone, spoke quickly in Korean. 30 seconds later, 2 men in black suits appeared. Ms. Ifunanya, this way please. They led her to a private elevator. No buttons inside. One of the men scanned a key card and the doors closed. The elevator climbed silently. When the doors opened, she stepped into a different world. Floor-to-ceiling windows overlooking Seoul, marble floors, furniture that probably cost more than her yearly salary, and Min Su-jun standing near the window, phone pressed to his ear. He ended the call when he saw her. "You came." "I didn't have a choice." She set the bags down. "Someone called me last night. A woman. She knew things. About Iboob. About our apartment." His expression darkened. "What did she say?" "That you can't protect us. That in 3 days she'll show me what happens to women who ruin her plans." Ifunanya's voice shook. "Was that her? Dami?" "Yes." He crossed to a desk, opened a laptop, turned the screen toward her. "This is the security footage from your apartment building. Last night, 2 a.m. The video showed a woman standing outside the building's entrance. Dark coat, face partially hidden. But when she looked up at the camera, Ifunanya saw those cold eyes from the photo. Dami smiled directly into the lens. Then she walked away. "She wanted you to know she was there," Min Su-jun said quietly. Iboob tugged on Ifunanya's hand. "Mommy, I'm hungry." Min Su-jun's gaze shifted to the boy. Something changed in his face. Softened. He crouched down to Iboob's eye level. "You like pancakes?" Iboob nodded shyly. "I'll have someone make you the best pancakes in Seoul." He glanced at Ifunanya. "Is that okay?" She wanted to say no, wanted to grab her son and run, but where would they go? "Fine." Min Su-jun made a call. 5 minutes later, a woman arrived with a tray of food. Pancakes, fresh fruit, juice in a plastic cup with a cartoon character on it. Iboob's eyes went wide. While her son ate, Ifunanya stood by the window, arms crossed. "How long have you been watching him?" 2 months. Min Su-jun joined her at the window. "I didn't approach. I didn't interfere. I just needed to know he was real." "He's not a concept. He's a person." "I know that now." He paused. "He has your smile." She didn't want to hear that, didn't want to see this dangerous man being human. "What's your plan?" she asked instead. "Keep you here until Dami makes her move. She'll come for a boob to draw me out. When she does, I end this." "End it how?" He didn't answer. "You're going to kill her." "I'm going to make sure she can never hurt my son." His voice went cold. "There's a difference." "Not to me." Ifunanya turned to face him. "I won't let a boob grow up knowing his father is a murderer." "Then what do you suggest?" Min Su-jun's jaw tightened. "We go to the police? Tell them a woman who hasn't been released yet is threatening us? They'll laugh us out of the station. There has to be another way." "There isn't." He stepped closer. "You don't know what she's capable of. 5 years ago, she bribed a hospital administrator to lose my bone marrow donor matches. She wanted me dead. When your donation went through too fast for her to stop it, she tried to destroy my reputation instead. She drugged us both, staged that hotel room, took photos. If you hadn't fled Korea, she would have used you to tear apart my family's business alliances." "But I did flee, so why does she still want me dead?" "Because you came back." His eyes locked on hers. "Because you brought a boob. Because every day he exists is proof that her plan failed, and Dami doesn't accept failure." Ifunanya's phone buzzed. Unknown number again. She almost didn't answer. "Hello?" Heavy breathing on the other end. Then a child's voice. Crying. "Mommy?" Her world stopped. "Iboob?" She spun around. Her son was still sitting at the table eating pancakes, very much real and present. But the voice on the phone kept crying. "Mommy, help me. It's dark. I'm scared." "That's not him," Min Su-jun said sharply. He grabbed the phone from her hand. "That's a recording." "How do you know?" He played it back, the crying repeated exactly the same way, same inflection, same words. "She recorded him." Ifunanya's voice broke. "When? How?" Min Su-jun's face went stone cold. "The park. When he went to the bathroom. She must have someone close enough to—" The phone rang again. Same unknown number. This time, Min Su-jun answered. "Put it on speaker." "Did you like my gift?" Dami's voice poured through like poison. "That's just a taste. Imagine what I can do when I'm actually free. Touch him, and I'll burn everything you love to the ground, Min Su-jun said quietly. You mean like I did to you? She laughed. Oh, Min Su-jun, you still don't understand. I never loved you. I loved what you represented. Power, status, an empire I could take once you died. But then that Nigerian nurse had to play hero. Ifunanya grabbed the phone. I didn't know who you were. I didn't know any of this. And yet you ruined everything anyway. Dami's voice turned ice sharp. You saved him. You gave him a son. You exist. That's enough. What do you want? I want you to suffer the way I did. 5 years of watching my plans crumble. 5 years in prison because he finally found proof of what I'd done. 5 years of waiting. A pause. 3 more days. Then I'll show you what real suffering looks like. The call ended. Ifunanya sank onto the couch. Iboob climbed into her lap, syrup on his face. Mommy, why are you crying? She wasn't, but when she touched her cheeks, they were wet. Min Su-jun stood across the room, phone pressed to his ear, speaking rapid Korean. Giving orders, his whole body radiated controlled fury. When he hung up, he looked at her. I'm moving you to a different location. Somewhere. Dami doesn't know about. Somewhere even my own people can't access without my direct clearance. Where? My family's estate. 2 hours outside Seoul. It's fortified. Guarded. No one gets in without biometric clearance. He crouched in front of her. I know you don't trust me. I know this is insane. But I need you to believe me when I say I will not let her touch him. Ifunanya looked at her son. Then at this man who was technically a stranger who shared Iboob's eyes, a stranger who'd been silently protecting them for 2 months, a stranger whose life she'd saved without knowing it. If we go with you, she said slowly, I need answers, real ones, about that night, about what happened. I'll tell you everything I know. And when this is over, you let us go. Something painful crossed his face. If that's what you want. She nodded. Then we leave in 1 hour. He stood. Pack anything else you need. After today, you won't be coming back here. As he walked away, Ifunanya held Ibube tighter. She'd spent 5 years running from a past she couldn't remember. Now that past was hunting her son. And the only person standing between them and destruction was the man she'd saved and forgotten. The estate sat behind iron gates and stone walls that looked older than Seoul itself. Ifunanya watched through the car window as they passed 3 security checkpoints, each one more elaborate than the last. Armed guards, cameras, dogs. This is where you grew up? She asked. This is where my family built their empire. Min Su-jun didn't look at her. Legal and otherwise. Ibube pressed his face against the window. It's like a castle. Close enough, Min Su-jun said quietly. The main house was traditional Korean architecture mixed with modern security. Beautiful and terrifying. A woman in her 60s waited at the entrance. Gray hair pulled back, sharp eyes that missed nothing. She spoke rapidly in Korean. Min Su-jun answered in the same language. The woman's gaze shifted to Ifunanya, then dropped to Iboob. Her expression changed instantly. She said something else. Softer this time. Min Su-jun's jaw tightened. She wants to meet him. Who is she? My mother. Before Ifunanya could respond, the woman approached. She knelt in front of Iboob with a gentleness that seemed impossible from someone who lived in a fortress. Hello. Her English was accented but clear. You must be tired. Iboob hid behind Ifunanya's leg. The woman smiled. Not the cold smile from the business world. Something genuine. She reached into her pocket and pulled out a small toy car, handed it to Iboob without expectation. He took it slowly. Thank you. You're welcome. She stood, looked at Ifunanya. My name is Park Jia. I apologize for the circumstances of our meeting. You knew about him? Ifunanya asked. I learned 2 days ago. Jia's expression hardened. My son has many secrets. This one, I wish he'd shared sooner. Mother, we'll speak later. Jia's tone left no room for argument. She gestured toward the house. You must be exhausted. Let me show you to your rooms. The room they gave her was bigger than her entire apartment. Private bathroom, balcony overlooking gardens. Ibube's room connected through an adjoining door. If you need anything, press this button. Gia indicated a panel near the bed. Someone will come immediately. Thank you. Gia paused at the door. My son is not a good man, but he is trying to be a good father. Give him that much. She left before Ifunanya could respond. Ibube explored his new room with the fearless curiosity of a 4-year-old. Ifunanya sat on the bed, head in her hands, trying to process the last 24 hours. A knock interrupted her thoughts. Min Su-jun stood in the doorway. Can we talk? She glanced at Ibube, busy with his new toys. Fine. They walked to the balcony. The gardens below were immaculate, too perfect, like everything in this world he inhabited. You promised me answers, she said. I did. He leaned against the railing. What do you want to know? That night. The gala. What do you actually remember? Almost nothing. His voice went quiet. I remember giving a speech, thanking the donors. Someone handed me champagne. I drank it. Then fragments. A hallway. A hotel room. Waking up alone 12 hours later with a headache that lasted 2 days. Same. She wrapped her arms around herself. Except I woke up with my clothes wrong. Bruises I couldn't explain. And complete terror. I'm sorry. Are you? She turned to look at him. Because from where I'm standing, you got exactly what Dami wanted to prevent. You survived. You built your empire. And now you have an heir you didn't even know you wanted. You think I wanted this? His control cracked slightly. You think I wanted to find out I have a 4-year-old son because his mother's ex-boyfriend tried to kill her in a storage room? You think I wanted to learn that the woman who saved my life was violated the same night I was, and I can't even remember it? Then why are we here? Her voice rose. Why not just pay for protection? Send us somewhere safe. Why bring us into your world? Because Dami won't stop until one of us is dead. He straightened. And I'm choosing me. The honesty of it hit her hard. She gets released tomorrow, he continued. My people have been tracking her contacts. She's already hired a team, 6 men, former military. They're being paid to grab a boob the moment she gives the order. Ifunanya's stomach turned. How do you know this? Because I have people inside her organization, people she thinks are loyal to her. His expression went cold. She's planning to move in 3 days. There's a charity event at the children's hospital. She knows I donate there. She's betting I'll bring a boob to show him where his father works. Will you? No. He pulled out his phone, showed her a map with red markers. These are her safe houses, her contacts, her financial accounts. I've spent 2 months building a case that will put her away for life. Real evidence this time. Not just fraud, kidnapping, attempted murder, human trafficking connections. You're going to destroy her. I'm going to protect my son. He met her eyes. There's a difference. Is there? She searched his face. Or are you just like her, willing to do anything for power? If protecting Ibube makes me like her, then yes. No hesitation. I'll become whatever I need to be. The terrifying thing was, she believed him. A commotion from inside made them both turn. Ibube was crying. Ifunanya rushed back into the room. What's wrong? He held up the toy car Gia had given him, broken in half. I dropped it, he sobbed. I didn't mean to. It's okay, baby. We can fix it. I'll get him another one. Min Su-jun's voice came from behind her. He doesn't need another one. Ifunanya knelt, wiped Ibube's tears. We'll use tape. It'll be like new. Min Su-jun disappeared, returned 2 minutes later with tape and glue. He sat on the floor next to Ibube. Can I try? Ibube nodded, hiccuping. Ifunanya watched as Min Su-jun carefully pieced the toy back together. His hands, which probably held guns and signed orders that ruined lives, moved with surprising gentleness. There, he handed it back. Good as new. Ibube tested the wheels. They still rolled. His face lit up. Thank you, Appa. The word hung in the air like a gunshot. Min Su-jun froze. What did you call me? Appa. Ibube looked confused. That's what the other kids call their daddies. Ifunanya's heart stopped. Ibube, we talked about this. It's fine. Min Su-jun's voice came out rough. He cleared his throat. You can call me that, if you want. Ibube smiled and went back to playing. Min Su-jun stood abruptly, walked to the window. His shoulders were tight. Ifunanya followed. You don't have to. I want to. He didn't look at her. I missed 4 years. 4 years of his life. First words, first steps, first everything. I can't get that back, but I can give him this, if he wants it. And what happens when this is over? When Dami is gone and we're safe? What then? Then you decide. He finally turned to face her. You decide if I'm in his life or not. You decide if you can forgive me for the circumstances of his existence. You decide everything. I'll accept whatever you choose. Why? Because you gave me life twice. Once on an operating table when you donated your bone marrow. Once when you created him. His voice dropped. I don't deserve either gift, but I'm not going to waste them. A phone buzzed. His. He checked it and his expression went dark. What? Dami's been released early, 3 days ahead of schedule. He was already moving toward the door. Someone with serious power just cleared her release. She's out. Right now. But you said 3 days? I was wrong. He grabbed his jacket. Stay here. Don't leave this room. My mother has guards on every entrance. Where are you going? To end this before she makes the first move. You're going to kill her. He stopped at the door. I'm going to make sure she can never hurt our son, whatever that takes. Then he was gone. Ifunanya locked the door behind him, pulled Ibube close. The toy car sat on the floor, carefully repaired with tape and glue. Outside, the sun was setting over the estate gardens, and somewhere in Seoul, a woman who'd tried to kill them both was walking free. Ifunanya's phone buzzed. Text from unknown number. 2 words. Found you. Then a photo, the estate gates, taken from outside, 5 minutes ago. Her hands shook as she pressed the emergency button Jia had shown her. Guards appeared within seconds. We need Min Su-jun, she said. Now. She knows we're here. The guard spoke into his radio. Korean, fast and urgent. Through the window, Ifunanya saw movement in the gardens. Shadows that shouldn't be there. She grabbed Ibube, pulled him into the bathroom, locked the door. Mommy, what's wrong? We're playing hide and seek, she whispered. Stay very quiet. Gunshots exploded through the evening air. Ibube screamed. She covered his mouth, held him tight, and prayed to a god she hadn't spoken to in 5 years. The door to the bedroom splintered open. Footsteps, multiple people, searching. Then Jia's voice, cold and commanding. You picked the wrong house. More gunshots, shouting, something heavy hitting the floor. Silence, a knock on the bathroom door. Ifunanya, it's me. Jia. She opened the door slowly. Min Su-jun's mother stood there, gun in hand, looking completely unfazed. They're gone, for now. Jia holstered the weapon. But more will come. We need to move you. Where's Min Su-jun? Hunting. Jia's smile was sharp. And when he finds her, this ends. But Ifunanya knew better. This was only beginning, because Dami wasn't just coming for revenge. She was coming to erase every trace of the life Ifunanya had accidentally created.
And somewhere in Seoul, in a car racing through night streets, Min Su-jun was becoming exactly what he'd promised. Whatever it took to protect his son, even if it meant destroying himself in the process. The toy car sat abandoned on the bedroom floor, fixed with tape and glue, held together by the thinnest of bonds. Just like everything else. If you made it this far, drop a comment and tell me what you would have done in Ifunanya's position. Would you trust a man you don't remember? Would you let him into your son's life? Sometimes the people who save us are the same ones who complicate everything. Subscribe if you want more stories that make you question everything. And remember this. Debts aren't always paid with money. Sometimes they're paid with choices that change everything. See you in the next one.